Today I fucked up by never flushing toilet paper. If I read this title yesterday morning I would have been like, okay? Why is that a fuck up? But after last night I have realized this is what normal people do. For backstory, I would never flush my used toilet paper for two reasons. The first reason being when I was a little kid, a plumber had to come and messed around with the tank in the bag and said that a bunch of baby wipes were flushed and not to do that. My mom specifically told me, do not flush anything that's not shit down the toilet. So that's what I did from that point forward. The second reason was because there was always a trash can next to the toilet, so naturally my brain went, this is where the toilet paper goes instead of the toilet, and I would always put it in there. So that's the premise. Slightly more backstory. I've been seeing my girlfriend for a few years and in her parents' house. She also has the same toilet trash setup, the key differences being that there's never a bag in it and there was never anything inside of it. So I would flush the toilet paper down the toilet because I didn't want to get shit on the bin. But I would feel really guilty because I thought it would fuck up their pipes, so I would actively avoid using the bathroom at her parents' house. Fast forward a year and we moved in together in an apartment, and I made it a point to grab a trash can with a lid for the bathroom so that it doesn't smell in there, and a bunch of trash bags. My girlfriend was confused but didn't really question me. So, this is where the fuck up happens. Last night I was visiting my mom with my girlfriend and her family, so in total there's about 10 of us. Earlier that day, I had gone to Dave's Hot Chicken and got the Reaper sandwich, which was now running through me with a vengeance. I went to the bathroom, did my deed, then decided to be thoughtful and not stink up the bathroom by taking out the trash with the now used toilet paper. I walked through the living room with the bag to throw it in the trash outside when my mom asked me why I was throwing the bathroom trash out. It wasn't full. I said, so that it wouldn't stink up the bathroom, because I'm thoughtful like that. My mom looked so confused and asked me why the trash would smell. Keep in mind this is in front of everyone. I'm close with my girlfriend's family at this point, so I jokingly said, what am I not supposed to wipe? I cannot understate how quiet that room got. I have tinnitus and I swear even that went away for a few seconds. I just thought the joke didn't land, so I went outside, threw the trash out, and then came back inside to everyone still just as confused as I was. My girlfriend's brother, who is my age, asked me if I was serious. I said I was, and me being the dumbass I am, decided this was a good time to bring up how weird it was that at their house they didn't have a bag in the trash and that I felt guilty every time I flushed toilet paper down the toilet. Everyone started crying. Apparently, it actually very normal to flush toilet paper down the toilet, and I was the weird one here. A 24-year-old, fully formed adult was not aware of the fact toilet paper can go down the drain and not cause issues. I tried to justify myself, to which there was no justification I could give, and spent the rest of the night embarrassed. And now my girlfriend's entire family and my entire family knows that for at least 18 years I was not flushing my used toilet paper. Too long did not read. I inadvertently outed my bathroom habit of not flushing used toilet paper in front of mine and my girlfriend's families. Edit. To people asking how the fuck my mom didn't notice shit-covered toilet paper in the trash for years, fair point. We had 2 bathrooms in the house, one for the kids and one for my parents in their room. My mom taught us to clean our own bathroom at like 8 or 9. So she would never really have a reason to go into our bathroom and vice versa. She moved to a smaller house where she is currently living, and where I lived up until recently that only 1 bathroom for everyone, 3 people including myself. How neither of them noticed? No idea. I wouldn't just toss it in the trash though, I would turn it shit side down so it's only the white side as a way to be polite. If it got on the bag I would just toss another piece of toilet paper to cover it up. So unless you went rooting around in the bathroom trash, which literally no one does, you wouldn't see it. Not flushing toilet paper is actually common in some places. It all comes down to how well the plumbing is suited for it. Flushing it is common where I live, but I have been to countries where you use the bin for toilet paper, and public toilets have signs urging you not to put paper in the bowl. T-boyfriend, a lot of countries have piping systems that don't support toilet paper, so it's not an unreasonable thing to conclude. Your mom gave you shitty instructions which led to your shitty situation. Man, I need to be more specific when instructing my kids. This depends on the country. I've been to places where you can't flush toilet paper and they have a separate bin for it. Holy fuck, what the hell? Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I cleaned bathrooms in retail for a few years and you're not the only one. I found a shocking amount of shit paper in the trash receptacles on a regular basis. Today I fucked up by hooking up with my cousin's pastor. Well, I'm not proud of myself. I, 25M, made a series of mistakes. I was bored, and had too much time on my hands, and decided to browse the apps. I'm a gay man, so you can imagine which apps I'm talking about. Now I normally don't ever meet up with anyone from the apps nor have any intention on meeting anyone, just mainly use them as a source to cure boredom. However, a profile messaged me that was very close by. I typically don't ever respond to faceless, statless profiles, but this guy messaged me with some pics that, I'll just say it, were quite nice to look at. He said he couldn't send a face pic because he's married and was only available for a brief window of time. Usually when someone tells me they're married, it's an immediate block unless they have some arrangement with their partner, but again, the pictures were nice to look at. So, ignoring all of the red flags and rules I have for myself for safety, I agreed to meet him. It was fun, not that that matters, but when it was over and I left, I couldn't shake the feeling that I recognized him. Then it finally dawned on me, he's my cousin's pastor. Over the past few years, my cousin was begun going to church and has really gotten into it. Myself and some other family members have always gotten weird vibes from this church, but for the sake of privacy, I don't want to go into too much detail. I know it may seem like an easy situation to ignore, but my cousin frequently has family events at her church, and members of her church, such as the pastor, have been in attendance. He's since messaged me and says we said, hang out, again, so I don't get the impression that he recognized me, but I feel like that would change if we ran into each other. I probably should go ahead and block him. Definitely don't think it's a good idea to tell him I recognized him. At least now I have an excuse to get out of all of the kids' birthday parties at the church. Definitely learned my lesson and reminded myself why I usually stay off the apps and never meet up with anyone. Too long did not read. Hooked up with a random guy on an app. Afterwards I recognized him as my cousin's pastor, who I see at my cousin's events. Now things are gonna be mega awkward. Bucket list item crossed off. The fuck up started at, I'm married. At least now I have an excuse to get out of all of the kids' birthday parties at the church. What's the excuse? Sorry cousin, I can't go because I fucked your pastor? Did you miss the chance to call him father? Definitely not advocating anything with this question, but is this the kind of church that tends to preach against homosexuality? This isn't going to be a popular opinion here, but what you need to do is to contact the pastor's wife, anonymously, send her the link to the husband's personal profile, and let her know that her husband is sleeping around on her. She has the right to know that she's having sex with someone who could be carrying a disease. It's hard telling what diseases that he could be bringing home to her, and the kids think herpes. Today I fucked up by calling my girlfriend's mom a dominatrix. So, I'm 27, my girlfriend's 27, and we've been together for about a year. I'm not originally from Canada, been here 8 years, and my English is generally good, but every now and then there's that one word that completely screws me over. Last weekend was the big moment, meeting her parents for the first time. I was nervous as hell. Like, sweaty palms, rehearsing polite small talk in my head, the whole thing. I really wanted to make a solid first impression. Her parents were super lovely. Classic, polite, small-town Canadian vibes. Her mom, let's call her Susan, is one of those super efficient, no-nonsense women who's just on it all the time. She had dinner totally under control, pouring wine, barking, friendly, orders at her husband to grab the bread, making sure everything was perfect. She was hosting like a total pro. We sat down, the food was amazing, and me, wanting to be charming and compliment her for being so organized, say, with my biggest smile, Susan, honestly, you are such a dominatrix in the kitchen. Everything's amazing. The entire table went dead quiet. Her dad literally paused mid-bite. My girlfriend's eyes went huge. Susan just stared at me with this frozen smile like her brain had left her body for a second. I'm sitting there, thinking I nailed the compliment, and after what felt like an hour of silence, my girlfriend kicked me under the table hard and muttered, "What did you just say?" I was confused as hell, like, what? I'm saying she's super in control like a boss. My girlfriend's face, absolute horror. It wasn't until later, when we were in the car driving home, that she explained what dominatrix actually means. I nearly crashed the car from how hard I was cringing. I had no idea I just called her mom a leather-wearing BDSM mistress in front of her whole family while eating chicken parmesan. I haven't stopped replaying the moment in my head ever since. Pretty sure her dad hasn't either. Safe to say, I won't be living this down anytime soon. Too long did not read. Tried to compliment my girlfriend's mom for being super in control in the kitchen. Accidentally called her a dominatrix over dinner. Kill me now. Plot twist: everyone was silent because they were shocked ops somehow knew the truth. Don't beat yourself up over it. Apparently your GF's mom can do that for you, winking face. Everyone will laugh about it after some time passes. What were you trying to call her? Tears of joy. If this is real, the family are idiots. When someone who is speaking a second language says something inappropriate and out of context, the natural reaction is not horror but a gentle laugh and or asking what they meant. I don't buy this. They're a super nice family, you say. They know English isn't your first language. Every there would have just immediately understood that you had obviously chosen the wrong word, and you would have immediately attempted to clarify as they immediately attempted to help you. Maybe a little bit of laughter. But stony silence because you so obviously, from the context, had the wrong word? I don't think. Bedroom, not kitchen. But don't worry, these things happen.